Our commitment to gender equity and providing balance within the organisation started back in 2016 when I made a commitment to ensure as much as is possible that every recruit course was 50% male, 50% female. Prior to that, we'd be lucky to have 25% female participating in our recruit training courses, and we identified the fact that we were replicating ourselves in our own image. Like the proportion of sworn police officers who were female has, for as long as I can remember, been about 25%. There was, in my view, a level of bias in our selection and recruiting processes that saw us maintain that sort of percentage. We shifted everything. We reviewed all of our selection processes to ensure that we weren't unfairly disadvantaging women in that process.
At the end of 2021, I was selected onto the Aspire program. It was a talent identification program that SAPOL brought in order to identify high potential employees, to encourage them and develop them into the future leaders of the organisation.
My obligation is to ensure that we provide an effective policing service to the community of South Australia. For us to do that, I'm firmly committed to the notion that requires us to have a diverse workforce mix, and a big part of that is women in policing. We're a better organisation because of that gender mix and increasing the number of women in the organisation in every role. If we continue to replicate ourselves in the model that we existed in 25 years ago, then you can't expect different thinking than what you had 25 years ago. So I'm very proud of what we've achieved so far, but there's so much more to do at this point in time.
One of my greatest achievements was when my son was talking about me being a police officer, and he's like, "Mummy drives a police car." And he didn't immediately say that Dad does. And I found that to be like, you're achieving something. He's 8 years old and he didn't immediately say Dad's the policeman. It's Mummy drives a police car. So that's what's important, that it's from the very start. It is something that makes you feel valued.
You can reflect on how slow this change seems to be happening, and you can be frustrated with that. But if you think about how long we've lived in the existing paradigm in terms of the differences between men and women, I think there's a sound argument to say that things are moving relatively quickly given the history that we're confronting and the entrenched attitudes that we're trying to shift. So I prefer to look at it more optimistically, that we are seeing some really positive signs that we're heading in the right direction. Change doesn't happen overnight, and the challenge is to bring people with you rather than have them resist the change because they're not properly informed or don't have an opportunity to socialise these changes and accept them for what they are. And that is a legitimate opportunity to enhance the organisation and, from my perspective, the work that the organisation does for the community.